Hey guys, Banana Luck here. Welcome back to another Water of Realms video. So we're back with a Forerunner server video. I actually saw this just before I went to bed last night, and I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna cover this, and yeah, so we're a bit late here. I think some other content creators have already covered it, but we're getting another bunch of reworks in the Forerunner patch. So a bunch of good stuff coming out from here. I don't think there was anything bad. There's also new Odyssey Quest, Hero Reworks, and I think some amendments to GVG that people have been long awaiting for. So yeah, let's get into it without further ado. So first of all, Guild Wars Season 13, they updated the lineups as usual. Updated season team border emote rewards. New Demon Soldier, Pharaoh's Guard can be obtained. High DPS melee Demon Soldier, capable of inflicting debuffs. So I wonder what the debuffs will be. And then we have Gladiator, Gauntlet, and also a nerf to the Demon Captains. So you can only use 3 per deployment per match now. But to be fair, Gauntlet only has 4 attacks, and everyone has at least 2 captains right now, at least in high tier GVG, so yeah, maybe it's not so much of a nerf but a rebalance here. Optimization, visual performance, remove bot stronghold. I'm sure my Discord mate Laguna will love this because we've been calling for this for a long time. There's just no place for bot strongholds in tier A GVG. Alright, adjusted the BP display and reduced the difficulty even further in gold rank. And a shortcut to view the demon soldiers in defense replace. And showing the specific number of soul cost destroyed. Alright. New demon soldier added to mystery chest. Frozen Raider. Visual effect of twin demon soldiers. I think this is in regards to the matriarch, the new Lord Captain. Optimize the PT mechanism for obtaining faction demon captains. I'm not sure how this works because it doesn't really say how many do we need to get to PT. Does it activate retroactively? Because a lot of people have opened tons of chests by now. But if you haven't done so, then it's probably a good time to wait and save on your chest in case the PT only gets implemented after this patch. And in this one, it's a known thing where the Countess doesn't do her or ultimates during the auto fight. Alright, so a bunch of nice GVG changes. I think these are all welcomed. We need to see what the PT mechanism is because when there's no like number to it, it's kind of lackluster in the sense that we don't know what to expect. So let's see. Alright, now we move on to the heroes. Astrael. He's getting some slight buffs. So first of all, the ultimate talent. The only change here is that when shielded, the talent trigger chance increases by 30%. I think 30% is the deep bite. So it goes from 50 to 60 with the rework, a slight buff there. Crimson Embrace, this is the ultimate. So instead of shifting within 3 tiles, it's gonna go up to 4. And next 3 basic attacks becomes Deep Bite. So that's 3 times more of it. And Deep Bite is quite a big deal. I remember it does, I think, 220% damage or so. So that's a nice buff all around. Vampiric Aura, what's the difference here? So there's a change here, and one adjacent ally with the lowest HP percentage for 15 seconds. No, that's actually the same. It's just a rewording. And upon gaining the shield, dispels all debuffs. That's the same. While the shield exists, grants 10% attack interval decrease. And when applying this shield to self, increases shield strength by 50%. So there's slightly more shields what you normally get. I don't really see the big change here other than the shield strength and also a rewording of this bit. Alright, A1. Damage of each instance from Deep Bite increases to 220%. And after this buff, increases same amount, but after casting Deep Bite, increases crit damage by 40% for 10 seconds. That's a big deal. And then stacks up to 2 times. So he gets 80% crit damage during the ultimate basically, because you're guaranteed to do 3 Deep Bites at the very beginning. So that's nice. And yeah, that's it for the buffs for Astrael. He does decently well. I've seen people running him in Abyss, and I also use him for Northerner Trial Stage 18. But will this make him usable anywhere else? Like, will it make him usable in, say, like Abyss as a staple, for example? I'm not sure, because the attack interval decrease, I think that's the biggest buff that he provides here, but not sure how reliable that will be, so let's see. Alright, now we move on to Sargak. There's a lot of adjustments here. So Sargak has been in the odd place for a while. I was just speaking to my guildmates that, you know, a very few seasons of a lot of seasons ago, Sargak was actually ran in GVG, and with him around, you basically couldn't get any flyers through at all. And then with Ardea on the ground, there was just simply no way to get through those defenses. But those days are long gone. So will Sargak make a reappearance with this rework? I don't know. He was also used in anti-air as well as in single target arena. And with the recent buff to the chaotic faction, I don't know if that will be sufficient to put him back into the spotlight. But these are very nice reworks, and let's get into it without further ado. So first of all, ultimate talent. So all damage dealt, 25% chance to trigger Blood Spear. All this is the same with the exception of 10% defense reduction. So this is going to be inbuilt into him. And I think that's nice. But 10% is not a big amount if you consider the other units, what they can inflict. There's 20%, 25% very easily. So it's a nice rework when you don't have any defense reduction, but I'm not sure how big of an impact it will be in like actual deployment. Alright, now, before and after, this is the ultimate. When triggered, dispels debuff on self. That's new, but I'm not sure when Sargak actually gets debuffs. And during the ultimate, becomes immune to debuffs. That's very nice. And consumes 10% of current HP per second while HP is above 25. This is a very nice rework for the fact that then your Sargaks won't get one-shotted anymore. Because I remember back when like for Liu Bu, for example, he was in an odd place as well where his HP only drops to 65%. And then with Count Dracula, his HP dropped to 1% or 1 HP. And I think they're doing the same treatment with Sargak as with Count Dracula, where they don't want the HP to go below 25% because there's really no benefit in doing so. And increases attack, that's the same. Each attack lands 2 consecutive strikes, and then ultimate lasts for 20 seconds. So the debuff is the change here, as well as the HP not falling below 25%, but I'm not sure in actual deployment how helpful this will be, especially the debuff bit. This is a bit odd, so I don't know. Okay, I guess I can see where this works. So you know how in GVG we have the Fire Emblem Templars? So in a sense, Sargak won't be affected by the fire at all during his ultimate, but if you time it outside of his ultimate, then it's not really going to matter anyways, but I don't know. We'll see. Alright, this is the passive that gives attack speed. So we get quite a big buff, 50% more attack speed. So you can see from 10 to 15. And effect of the specialized attack speed is stronger when HP is lower. Max effect is at 25% HP as per his ultimate over here. So I've heard that with this rework, you could even not use Sargak with attack speed at all, which is pretty interesting. Because with all this incremental attack speed, so if let's say we just add the numbers up, for example, 15 times 75, that's gonna give us 1125 attack speed, which is crazy. So Yeah, maybe he's right that there's no need to give him attack speed at all, but it'd be interesting to see how that works out. I mean, instead of giving him attack speed, you could give like crit damage, and then what was that? Rage regen, so as flat attack. I think that'd be much nicer than giving him attack speed since he's gonna be overcapped anyways. Alright, A1, when the hero is below, reduces... Okay, it just gives the Blood Spear a 10% additional trigger chance, and the base on that is 25% at the moment, so that's quite a nice buff. A3, this is a huge one as well, so on top of the 50% increased damage, he's also gonna get 2% rage for every Blood Spear that he does. So it's gonna make it way harder to time him to, not do his ultimates during GVG, for instance, because he's gonna get just a crap ton of rage from this, especially with 1000, over 1000 attack speed. But how does it fare in deployment? We'll have to see that in actuality. So yeah. A4, okay, that's a buff there. I think a lot of the older heroes are plagued with this, where they get crit rate instead of penetration, so that's a nice buff. And then A5, so the attack per stack goes up to 4%, which makes a lot of sense. And then increase is capped at 24%, so with this rework, instead of waiting for like 10 mobs to be killed, he basically only needs to kill 3 mobs for the stacks to max out, and I think that's a big deal there. But my Sargak's only A0, so I don't know why I'm even dreaming of this Awakenings, but those are very nice reworks coming his way. The question is just where will we see him after these reworks land, but it's all good. I like it, so let's see. Alright, Pierre, he isn't even in the game yet. Okay, just fix an issue where it does not deal splash damage to invisible enemies. Optimize language. Nothing really. And then adjustments of skill effects without changing the actual effects. Modify the description of A5. Oh, this is a big one. So I always wondered for a long time why sometimes when we place Hatsuit, back when I was trying to clear 321, she does not go invisible. So I guess it's a bug after all. But 321 was like years ago, so it took them quite some time to get there, but we're there. Alright, new stages. I think this is the one that was half-baked for the longest time, and then you have all these beginners coming in asking, hey, where's the other 4 stages when they will come? So they finally added it in. And then for clearing all 3 stages of 24, you get 1 legendary hero from a selected pool. Now, I wonder if this selected pool is going to be different from what we usually get. I don't think this patch has hit Forerunners just yet, right? Okay, let's actually check this out, because I have no idea. It doesn't look like so. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I think this is just the default one that we have at the moment. So yeah, I guess we'll have to see, because I did see some chests on like the CN server where they get updated chests with all the new heroes. Maybe they'll do that for this stage 24 one, because otherwise it's quite a pointless item to be adding, especially when you're clearing all stage 24s. Do you really need heroes from this pool? I'm not sure, but that's interesting. Right, claim rank rewards 1 time and you get a chance to choose the Frozen Cleric, Ember Fire Templar, or Demon Soldier Spectre Skeleton Archer. That is huge, because the Skeleton Archer is quickly becoming one of my favorite Demon Soldiers to use, and now you can actually get it for free. Kind of similar to what we saw with, what do you call that? With the Grotesque Fiend all the way at the start, so now we're getting the same deal over here. Alright, new Odyssey Quest added includes Praetor Skin. I think this was actually showcased during the roadmap interview they had. In it, Soul Stone. Interesting that they put Soul Stone, not Soul Stones, because he still needs 2 awakenings to get to A5. Odyssey exclusive music, recasting, advanced recasting hammer, gems. I think gems is referring to the transmutation ones. And then summoning crystals and more. It'll be interesting to see what the new quests are, and yeah. Reduce difficulty again for some Odyssey quests. And then optimize the prompt for Matrix. Optimize Void Rift. Added new text. Okay, I think this is just referring to the modifiers changing. BP display to arena auto fights. Previously unsafe adjustments. Okay, that should have arrived way before. So you know how sometimes when you want to change arena lineups, and then when you're switching it around, when you go back and switch gear, you go back into the arena interface, it defaults back to your own team. So that's been updated now. Alright, so that's it for the patch. We get a ton of rework here, some GVG changes that are long awaited for, Demon Soldier PT, and then we also get the new Archer as a selection now, Astrael Rework, and then we have Sargak as well. But I think the one that I'm most excited by is probably the Odyssey one, because yeah, we get free stuff from those. Hopefully the quest isn't too challenging. And yeah, other than that, it's not as big as what we've seen in the last few videos where we get massive reworks. I think the Astro one is pretty small. The Saga is the big rework here. But I think the GVG changes is what people are most excited by. So that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you're most excited by. I think this will probably land in February's patch, which is not in yet. And yeah, we'll probably get all these changes by then. And yeah, that's it for the video. See you in the next one. Goodbye.